everyone, and welcome back to the 16 millimeter film crew. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dale.
You can watch us on YouTube, you can like and comment on our YouTube videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can listen to us everywhere podcasts are found at 16 millimeter film crew podcast, and you can visit us on our website at www.16millimeterfilmcrew.com. So this week we watched Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee. When a powerful music mogul is targeted by a ransom plot, he is forced to fight for his family and legacy while jammed up in a life or death moral dilemma. It is an English language remake of Akira Kurosawa's 1963 Japanese film High and Low, itself based on the 1959 American novel King's Ransom by Ed McBain. So this movie stars Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, John Douglas Thompson, Dean Winters, and LaChance. So Dale, you got your notes. So go go off.
Um, so yeah, this is basically Spike Lee's second attempt of doing a original foreign language film. The last time he did this was 2013 with Old Boy, and the issue with that was there were certain scenes and shots that were lost in translation because, of course, studios want to cut for time. A lot of scenes weren't brief. A perfect example of this would have been the hallway scene in Old Boy where he's fighting. In the American remake, it was a wide open warehouse, and the pacing is different. Um, And I haven't seen the original Kurosawa picture for this movie, but yeah, I don't think Spike Lee should continue to do these foreign film references. Like there are some good things in this movie, like of course the conversation that David has with I don't know, not Paul, other guy in charge of the record label and his sons. Like those dialogues key into a big generational difference and also a cultural difference in regards to how we get music nowadays. Like we don't listen to like the radio. Like whatever's playing on the radio is not what everybody listening to. So you could say you got this many radio plays, but the stigma is whatever is trending online, or people find their own taste. Nobody really has the same taste anymore. And David's kind of focused on an old-fashioned style where those numbers matter when they don't. Of course, I think the treatment of Paul, it shows a clear difference in regards to his son being kidnapped as well, along with Trey. Like both Kyle and Trey were missing, but the cops reaction to him due to I guess his priors. And so it does showcase that how people do treat people of not just different races but different socioeconomic economic backgrounds. Because both him and David are black, but because he's like a former criminal felon, they know like they instantly threaten him and say, "We know you're a parole officer." Like off the rip, they already suss him as suspect number one. Um, so stuff like that were are very much topical. But other than that, I think the writing in this is disjointed. Like a lot of the shots in the movie take too long. Like the most awkward thing I thought, one of the awkward things I did think in the movie, like when they were with Rick Fox, he's like, "You got Jordans on, what would Michael think?" And they ask, "Who's Michael?" But then when the son is found, they have Michael Jordan posters in this boy's room. Like, did they not like read the script when they were designing that set? Because that's like a big mistake. Like, this kid doesn't know who Michael Jordan is, but he has a poster in it. Like, that's like me not knowing who like I don't know Michael Vick is living in Atlanta, and then you go into my room and have a Michael Vick jersey. Like those kind of things. And I'm gonna be brief with this because I know I know that I'm gonna be brief with this. 'Cause I got a lot. Like, I got notes. I got notes. Like my biggest issue with this is like it's a fucking awkward billboard for New York. I'm a born New Yorker, even though I grew up in Miami, and I get it. Niggas, we love New York. We'll tell everybody. I'll tell people, even though grew up in Miami, I was born in New York. First thing, that's how we are. But like, I felt it was unnecessary. Like every 15, 20 seconds, like was the shot of Nicholas Saturo, the guy in the Yankees jersey, in the train, him saying Boston sucks, was that necessary in front of the camera? No, it added nothing to the story. I didn't need to see Nicholas Saturo at all saying Boston sucks. Was the Puerto Rican Day parade stuff necessary? No, it wasn't. Like, I remember back when we did In the Heights. Remember when Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's from New York, he puts New York references in his movie. But even though we both wanted a bit more showcasing of other New York communities, we understood it's set in Washington Heights in that particular uh Dominican segment of the community. And in itself, being predominantly a lot of Dominican references, it makes sense because the community itself is a character in the movie. In this one, New York is not a character. I don't need to be bombarded 20 seconds say Knicks suck. I mean, not Knicks rule. Boston sucks. Red Sox sucks. Uh, fucking Celtics suck. That's like in the four Bad Boy movies. If Martin Lawrence and Will Smith mentioned 20 times a second, like the movies in Miami, like oh we here's me with Tua talking about this is me and Dwayne Wade. This is me and the fucking the Florida Panthers. This is me with the Miami Marlins. This is it's unnecessary. Like New York, yes, New York is lovely, but it wasn't a character. We don't need those constant reminders over and over again.
Yeah, this movie was rough to roughest. Like it was just, oh man, painful.
Painful.
It was painful. Because and the thing is like I feel like trailers do sometimes they do a good job at like really showcasing like what the movie's going to be about. And when I was watching this trailer in the movie theaters, I was like, I just have a feeling that it's not going to be that good. Like you could just tell from the writing, like the writing is so heavy-handed and just like shoving things down your throat where it's like I don't know. I haven't watched a full-length Spike Lee movie since Black Klansman. I didn't even really watch
The Five
the
Bloods.
Five Bloods. I watched like 30 minutes of that and I
Damn, girl, that was a
stopped.
good movie though. So
Um yeah, maybe I guess it was. I don't know. 'Cause I didn't finish it. But like one of these movies are too damn long and I just can't. The writing was just from the jump. I was like, yikes, like this is really bad. And it really feels like an I don't know how old Spike Lee is, but he's old and it reads that way. Like it reads like an old person writing a script about like what's happening today. And it just was like, I don't know how I don't know how you can make totally realistic dialogue when you have been living like a very privileged life for many years now. So like I don't know, it's always gonna come off a little weird. But even when he was like Denzel was like going through his office being like, I don't know what this AIIA thing is, and it's just like okay, maybe, but I also feel like if you're in the music business, like you definitely know how these things work because you have to. Like it's your
yeah.
job, right? Like we know that the music business isn't what it was. Like it's all about streaming and numbers and like you just have to kind of get on board with that. Like everyone every other music oh God, every other record label has like figured out a way to. So it just seems like it kind of doesn't make sense that like he wouldn't understand what's going on in this thing, or he's like trying to keep it to what it was. It kind of doesn't make sense that he wouldn't know that as a character. But also, everything was just like really heavy-handed. Like it felt like this movie was made for white people because they were shoving down every piece of African American ideology, book, poster, like the Kamala poster, the Bluest Eye book, like them just dropping nuggets, black excellence. Like who is this movie for? Because it's not for us. Like we already this is a part of our culture. Like this is a part of our lives. Like why are you always like talk like why are you just randomly bringing up Spellman? Like is it for the white people to know that this is what being black means? Like it's just such a weird thing because I feel like he Spike actually knows how to like strike tonally like putting like or putting in themes of like yes the black history black current day culture like he's good at doing that but I don't know maybe it's just been a long time since he's written a movie. I really have I don't have any idea how this happened
Mhm.
other than it wasn't the writing was just really bad. I feel like even with Denzel's performance, it definitely just felt like he was just coming in every day and just
He
like
tried, like tried. It's like his first Spike project, like 16 years, but
just being like, "Hey, I'm Denzel and I work with Spike. You know me, you know him. Like we're just gonna have some fun today." Like that's it was just rough. Like it was, and I'm like, ah, damn. This I don't know what the Kurosawa movie is. I haven't seen that one, but I found out that this movie was like based on that one, and I'd be interested to see that one because this one it just didn't. I just feel like everyone was like not giving anything to me personally. Like I could care less about the record label plot. I don't care. I was like, okay,
hmm
so let's figure out this mystery. Like let's get this together. And it took forever to figure this out. Like it was so annoying because like every scene, like you said, was just so long. and exhausting. That white actor who was acting god awful. He was
Oh,
terrible.
the
And I'm just
the the
like,
Allstate Mayhem guy, he can't act for shit. I can see why he does commercials.
why did you put him in your movie? Like, I have so many questions, you know?
Yeah,
So many. I don't understand any of this.
yeah. Like and like what you said about blackness in movies, I have no problem with it, but here's the thing. My thing with blackness in movies is their blackness essential to the plot, to their character, to the story. That's the thing. If it has like no regard, um, like is it kind of necessary to a
Mm,
degree? Like, because a lot of black movies, yes, our blackness is inherent to the issues we face. Like I said earlier with Paul and the cop, that dynamic. His blackness is inherently a part of that interaction almost. You could see on the sly interactions, even with him and the lady cop near the end, where he's like, she says, "Oh, when will my people ever learn not to hide the money under the bed?" As the first people look, he's like, "Oh, don't let me answer that question for you. Don't let me talk." Like, and she's like, "Don't talk about my people with me," like that kind of thing. There's like a racial twinge in his character, which works for those interactions. But other than that, no. And like you mentioned, like he's a music mogul. Like I'm looking at these names. I kind of have to because these are black music moguls. I'm looking at Russell Simmons' net worth. I'm looking at Diddy's network. I'm looking at Jay-Z's network. At one point in time in like 20, I think the 2020, uh Diddy's network was almost 900 million. Jay-Z's at like almost $3 billion. Like he's supposed to be on that level, multiple Grammy Award winner, record label owner. You tell me you don't got 24/7 security on you and your family? Like you drive from your Hudson River, penthouse, to the basketball to this college for you're gonna go basketball, and that's it. There's no security team around you. It's just you and your main valet the whole time. The whole time.
and
What's up with that?
if he's living in that penthouse, those things cost over. He could easily be paying 20 something million for that.
So, and that's also what I'm asking. How does this nigga not have $17 million?
Yes, exactly.
Like, what kind of investments are you and your financial people making where you own a record label, you've signed contracts, to like you sign investment deals, you sign stock, sign contract, you're paying people. What kind of investments are you making where you do not have 17 million in liquidity that you can access easily? Like they're threatening, like they're like, oh, we'll sell the penthouse, we'll send the other mansion, in Hags Bay, we'll sell the Basquiat's. Like, nigga, what? Like one Basquiat is almost worth like 20 million. Oh, what are you on? How do you not have this kind of money? It's like what? Like, come on.
It's like Spike Lee, you are wealthy. Like you have no reason to be like weirdly pricing these things or even just assuming that like a person who had that much money living in those circumstances didn't have $17.2 million just that they could access easily. Like that is just it kind of makes but that's the thing like when you don't get those details right, it really undercuts the tension and undercuts like the seriousness of the movie because you're just like, well, none of this makes sense.
Yeah,
And that was my issue. I was just like, why none of this makes sense to me. Like I really don't get it. Like I just don't get it. Like
yeah.
you don't have security, but your valet is the one who has the guns and has like the access
Who
to this
is a
underworld.
former
Like
felon who was under parole? He cannot carry them things like every other day. Like I like Ti is like 5 minutes from my house. Every other day, like the other day, they arrested him at one point in time because the nigga had guns in his garage and he can't have guns in his property. Okay, like he's just like, and he works for a person up in that level, and he's gonna walk around with guns. Like, where is your security seat? Like, what is this?
none of it made sense to me.
Like, and you mentioned those things taking you out. What took me out a lot for this movie as well was the damn orchestral arrangement. The
Oh,
like,
please talk about that.
like I think like, and I'm gonna look up these names. Two things I have issue with: cinematography
Mm.
and the orchestra brings it. Howard Drawson is a freaking collaborator with Spike Lee. Okay, this is the list of movies he's done with Spike Lee. He's done Red Tails. I don't remember if I like that. Chirac. Of course, she's gotta have it. The show, Black Klansman. He's done this lowest to highest. So he has a trend. The Sweet Blood of Jesus. He has a modern trend of working with Spike Lee, Miracle at Saint Anna, Inside Man, all that stuff. But the other part of his career is he mostly does music for a lot of video games, and his orchestral arrangements are repetitive. That generic ass piano melody for every fucking chase scene. It works in a video game because video games also got to conserve space, or they used to. Now they like 200 gigs for no reason. Like you could repeat like the same. This is the battle theme, and it could go for every battle. Like that fucking piano, that became the lowest to highest chase theme. Every fucking chase it played, and it kills the tension of it. The police come in, David's missing, piano ass music. They're leaving to the train to go drop off the money. Fucking piano ass music. Denzel chasing ASAP Rocky in the middle of the night. Fucking generic ass piano music. It undermines the tension in all those moments. And it also, especially with David missing, it made it sound over dramatic for with no intensive purpose. Like it pulls me out of the moment. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm going, and that's the cinematographer. That's Howard Drosten. Now I'm going to go to Matthew Labiquick. I don't give a fuck if I pronounce your last name wrong. Honestly, I don't care because, like, he also himself has a history of working with Spike Lee, and there are like too many. Some cuts and some scenes are too long, and some cuts are also disjointed. Like when Paul prays after when they say they're looking for Kyle, he goes down and prays. And I remember the shot being from right to left. It's originally from right to left. And then it goes to a long tracking shot of Kyle in the bathtub tied up. And then it cuts back to Paul coming up from his prayer from left facing the right. You just broke the 660 rule for no reason. Okay, cool. The cuts don't even match. And then, of course, Spike loves the double dolly shot where his character's on a dolly board and they're also moving with the shot. He has it done with that lead cop going over their plan. That scene could have been for
Good.
another part. It doesn't. I didn't
Oh,
need a monologue of the cop saying, "This is the plan. We are going to do A, B, C." You could have had cuts, and then you had those story blocks as B-roll cutaways of every single major New York train bus stop. What the fuck? And then after that, you have that scene of them driving through like near Yankee Stadium and going to the subway. Them getting out from the subway, there at one point the camera zooms in, not like a dolly zoom or a zoom in. It's just close up, and it's grainy as fuck, and the coloring is wrong. But their excuse for that, he says, is um, we shot. This is from the cinematographer. We shot right in the shadow of Yankee Stadium. They shot a big party sequence, which is the Puerto Rican Day Parade, 3 blocks away from it. He said once Denzel leaves the confines of his home, the language of the film changes. We transition to a more handheld environment. I even switched the lenses. I switched from anamorphic lens, the Mercury Atlas 1.5 prime, to old Canon rangefinders for more flair and contrast. I gotta if you're watching this, you see me doing theatrical with it because this is what it sounds. And they even used the uses of 16 millimeter, hey, that's us, and Super 8 cameras. The problem with that scene is every other scene where they're outside before that or after does not match that film language at all. Like the scenes where they're walking to the basketball camp, it's not shot handheld. There's no grain or grittiness. The scenes where he's walking through at night looking for ASAP's character, the whole train scene. Once again, they're out of the confines of the home, so that film language does not translate to all those scenes. And not just that, like I feel like they shot in film and then they digitally zoomed in film, although they probably didn't. But the coloration does not work either. It goes from like a softer, almost whitish bluish to like a sepia tone. And then after that, when they're in the train, multiple times when they cut between Denzel or a cop or somebody else, the color correction shifts constantly. Like it doesn't match at all. And it also doesn't match the fact if you go to all those B-roll scenes of them in the subway that they got from fucking video blocks, those colors don't match the colors in those scenes at all. Like I feel like Denzel did up. No, no, Denzel. Spike Lee spiked it up. This is a Spike Lee joint. Spike is gonna do too much sometimes, but I feel like the guy who did the score, the composer, and the cinematographer did a horrible job on this. And the thing was, he goes on to say the cinematographer was to say Spike was down for anything, so that's why it was so fun to work with him. This reminds me of we talk about this concept. We talked about this about Megalopolis, or so me, of where legacy directors kind of do too much without being aware of it. And I understand that it's your project. Audience be damned. And this brings me up to a quote from Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli, where he was talking with a CEO from Pixar. And the CEO from Pixar asked him, "When do you make changes for you, and when do you make changes to the audience?" Miyazaki answered, "I don't ever think about the audience," proving that Ghibli films are made for audience who want him. I have no problem with that, but I do believe like it's a bad example. Ghibli's pictures have a certain feel, which everybody loves. I do think when it comes to live action with these projects that I've mentioned, there needs to be somebody back there saying, "Hey, let's relax. Let's bring it down a bit." Like I understand having a creative vision you want to execute, but at a certain point, especially in the editing room where you can see a lot of these issues are made, somebody should have went like, "All right, we gotta bring it back. There's too much going on. We um have to cut this back a bit." And even the movie ends like almost 20 minutes too long. It should have ended at the hospital talking to his friend, where he's like, "I want you to work with me. I'm starting my own thing," around his family and Paul, and ended with that. I didn't need look an ASAP Rocky music video for a shitty ass song. I did not need them in his penthouse apartment having a performance from the artist he's trying to sign to his label. Unnecessary. It could have ended at the hospital saying, "You know what? I'm done with this. I want to spend time with you, my mans, my family. I'm starting my own thing." Done.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I don't even have anything else. I mean, you really laid it out, but
I hate this movie. Dead
yeah.
ass. I hate this movie. I hate this movie. I really do. I don't. Like,
Yeah, it's true. I always feel really like sensitive around speaking critically of Black films, Black filmmakers. Like I try to be as generous as I can, but I do feel like in this instance, this is not like Spike, sorry, this is not your best work. Like this
no,
is
it's
not your
not.
best
And
work.
he could do better.
And
We've seen better.
we've
This
seen
is
better. We know
like,
better. We know that you can do better. And I feel like one, for me, this movie was so boring. That's kind of the reason why I don't even feel vitriol because then that would mean that something would have happened to make me feel so angry. I just feel like so disappointed. Like this movie was so boring. It only started to kick in around an hour, which is I'm like, okay, it takes an hour to flop. I mean, to take an hour to like
no, flop is the right word.
to like get somewhere, then it's flopping. Um, and then yeah, the score playing through every single scene, even when they were just like talking about stuff, I was like, that's bad. And it was like some Lifetime movie score. Like it was just so disinteresting. And then when things finally do start to kick into high gear, the scenes are too long. And then the cinematography is like weird. And I thought like like they were trying to do something creative with how they would do like split shots and they had that kind of corny film grain thing where it made it look like it was from like the 70s or whatever. And I was like, well, that just looks corny. That doesn't even look good.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I just, to me, someone like Spike Lee, like you have so much resources at your disposal. Like you are a legendary filmmaker. There is no reason that one of your films should be looking, sounding, and existing the way it is in this movie. Like, I just don't, to me, I'm like, you don't have a reason for this to be
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, none.
Like, you don't.
And like the story behind this is like, I mean, Spike didn't write the script originally. He got it from Alan Fox before COVID, the COVID pandemic,
Hmm.
and then Spike then got involved in rewriting it once Denzel became attached to it. So I do think there is probably a good movie where Spike Lee is not involved with the rewrites. That probably does exist. And then you have like, and I feel bad for Apple because we've reported in the past about Apple running at not really a deficit for them because they have their phones and their laptops propping up their entertainment
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
About them spending too much money on some of the Apple original films and then buying films like this was originally at A24 project with funding from other producers, and it got optioned for Apple at like Cannes, I think, to
Hmm.
Get first rights for the broadcast for streaming on their platform. I feel like this would have done numbers and everybody would have fine with it if this had been on Tubi. This
Yeah,
like
it is giving
this
Tubi.
is this gives Tubi. This does not give me Amazon, Spike Lee excellence. This does not give me that at all. It undermines both what Apple TV has done with their streaming platform as far as their TV shows and their movies, which are wonderfully done,
Hmm.
and the career both Spike Lee and Denzel have. Especially, Denzel, like coming off of like he stole the show in Gladiator 2.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
Gladiator 2 wasn't even about him, it was about fucking Paul Mescal. Like
Hmm.
Paul Mescal and fucking Pedro Pascal were everywhere. Pedro Pascal wasn't even a big part of the movie either, but he's in with an ad campaign. And they mentioned Denzel, like, oh, Denzel's in it too. Denzel basically becomes the main antagonist in Gladiator 2 and steals the show
Hmm.
masterfully.
Hmm.
And to go from even Gladiator 2, Macbeth, that to this is like,
Yeah.
my man, I know it's Spike Lee, and you haven't worked with him since like I think in like 20 years almost. But if this is the result the two of you get, and like I understand Spike is a prolific part of your career, and Denzel has said himself he's winding down his acting career. He's not going to keep acting into old age. I get it, but this like your legacy is already there, like for both of them. This feels bad, like
Yeah, it
bad.
kind of felt like Spike just told him, do whatever you want. And like he wasn't directed. And one thing that I've I come to understand, especially from people like Meryl Streep and those iconic actors, like they want to be directed. Like so I don't know, it kind of feels like Spike was just like, Denzel, bro, just go off. Just do whatever you want to do here. And that's the performance that we got was just like him kind of just doing whatever. And it wasn't good. So it's just like I think at a certain point, everyone needs those checks. And I know that maybe if you are in the business for a long time and maybe you feel like you've played by the rules, even though I don't think that Spike really ever did, but like, let's just say that's how he felt. And maybe this was the one project where he got to like go all out and just do whatever. Sometimes you need the check. Sometimes you need to be reined in a little bit because, and I think that that's fine. Like, if filmmaking is supposed to be a collaborative thing, and I'm sure that it was in this movie, I feel like everyone should like the whole team should be coming together on the same vision where it's like, I see where you're going. Maybe let's not do that. Let's just do this. Or maybe let's do that, but let's do less of it. Like let's just, I feel like that's valid.
Yeah. For me, it's like how does what we're doing as far as cinematography, the editing, and the score, how does this edify what we have? How does this help the story we're trying to tell? Oh,
Hmm.
transitioning from multiple different film formats does not help the project. The way we're editing does not help this project. Or long cuts or insert cuts of fucking film reel scrolls of pictures of the family they clearly took just to insert. Shot of the wife laying down on the table with her Cartier bracelet and looking up at the TV or at the camera. Fucking the dudes talking about Boston sucks. Like how do those see like the long ass fucking Puerto Rican Day parade? And the worst part about that scene is it has that generic ass piano chase music and then abruptly switches to the salsa music abruptly and it stays throughout the rest of the thing. And like in the overhead shots in that scene were unnecessary. You could have just cut from the train to the cops in the car and whatever's happening. I don't need multiple shots of y'all driving over every single New York bridge and then you cut to the car, then to the train, and then to the shot of them still on the bridge, and then to the car, or them driving on a highway by the river. Just give me the shot of the guy in the car. And that's
Yeah.
it.
And I feel like they did have an opportunity to do some interesting commentary on class. especially because everyone is black in this. I feel like they could have talked about that.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the word? I can't, it's not coming to me. Consumerism, capitalism. Like they could have said a lot about
Mm.
that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
It was
They
more just like it was very much like a liberal viewpoint of like black excellence. Look at my Cartier bracelet. I made it.
not
And
even
it's just
that.
like,
Like
okay, well,
even when they try to make those points on class, they're undeveloped. Like the issues with
that's what
between
I'm saying.
like the interaction between ASAP and Denzel when they friends with the studio, it's like be better than your father. He's like, oh fuck all that shit. I'm the niggas love me. That's all that matters.
He was terrible in this, by the way.
ASAP can't wreck. He's
Oh God.
ASAP. Be thankful because you don't release music that much. Let's be honest. ASAP Mob's over. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Thank gosh. You better pray every day. Thank the Lord that Rihanna is with you and you
Yeah.
got two kids by her.
That's a
Cause
good meal
man, oh
ticket.
man, oh
Yeah.
man, oh man, you cashed in. You don't gotta do anything. Be a stay-at-home dad. Be a good father.
Truly, truly.
Don't get behind the camera ever again, my boy. Don't. You don't really rap anymore. So just chill. Model. Just model.
And that song was
Talk
so cheeks. Like,
like
come on, you're like, what is
like
going on?
talk to Pharrell, talk to the Clips. They be doing stuff in Paris and shit. Like model, like you pretty boy ASAP. That's you pretty boy model. Like don't be in front of the camera no more. Don't act, please don't. But yeah, I'm like
There, yeah, this was not good.
no no
That's all I got to say about this one. Mm-mm.
zero positives. It's all
Yeah,
negatives. All
yeah,
negatives.
pretty much.
Did you like that clip? Well, you can listen to the entire podcast because the 16 millimeter Film Crew podcast is available on all major podcast platforms.